Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Anything Goes with Anna Rose. Guys, I don't know how I feel about this episode.
Nervous?
I think I'm nervous. I think I'm excited. I think I'm interested. Yeah, I'm looking at Ryan. I feel like I'm interested to see also what comes up. So I don't know what we're going to title this yet, but the title will give it away. But I have brought back on the formidable, divine, brilliant, capable, amazing Dee Zibara.
Hello, hello.
We call you our fertility coach, but I just think you are the coach for health.
I don't even know what to call myself anymore.
Yeah, I struggle with this because, and why I'm sort of fluffing around or not like, saying this is because we are now 3.5 months in with you, and you can speak for yourself.
I think we're nailing it.
We are absolutely nailing it, but I feel the best I have ever felt in my whole entire life. And I'm abundant, like the magnetism, the success, the love, the happiness, like even just like and there's other elements to that. I feel like the move help, there's like other elements for sure, but in terms of internal radiance and external success from that is magic. So that is all to say, I feel like when I talk about this and, I get a flurry of DMs and women are like, oh, can I work with her? And I'm like, every woman on earth should work with her. So that's my precursor, Dee Zibara.
Thank you. I love it. You just said that so well.
Yeah. But that's why I say, I don't know, I call you the fertility coach because we are with you because you are coaching us deeply on cellular health for our fertility. But also that's the healthiest we've ever been.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Because health is the foundation of everything.
Especially leading into wanting to conceive and get pregnant. I believe everyone should be doing it before they
we have a lot to say about this now.
So,
can you actually imagine? Like, can you actually imagine what schools and classrooms and if you're homeschooling, the world looks like for children whose parents go through this?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine?
Well, the world would, we would create a different world.
Yeah,
it would,
100%.
We would, like, kids would be less sick. There would be less, like I even said to Ryan the other day, I said, our babies, I fundamentally believe this, and there would be literature and science behind this, but because of the genealogy and I am currently growing the eggs. He is currently growing the sperm that is going to make this baby. The genetics of us and the DNA of us and the health of us directly impact that baby. And I said to Ryan, I don't even think I'm not even stressed our baby's going to get colic, for example, because I'm like, we're so fucking healthy. So yeah. But I also want to say the beautiful, divine, king, masculine is on the couch with me today.
Oh yeah, don't forget about me. Come on.
The king, because it's not, it's you are a guest as well. So welcome, baby.
Welcome back again. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thrilled to be here. Are you nervous?
I'm always nervous before I come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, not so much, but.
That's wild to me because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
So why Dee's here and I want to literally just dive straight in.
Let's go.
And we can, it can be as conversational. We literally have no plan. But the idea that I had said to Dee, because I feel like, and you, before I sought permission to say, would you do this, is you are not just the health aspect in essence. You also are very much the quantum, the energetics, etc., and the mindset. The woo and the science is your gift. And so I had said to Dee that wouldn't it be really powerful for couples to see a session, basically, look, a live session as I wiggle in my seat, live on the couch, literally, where you kind of just walk us through, like pretend the mics and the cameras aren't here. And we'll see. We call it, we fuck around and find out. And obviously along the way we can unpack some things about trauma, because something we didn't talk about last time was trauma.
Yeah.
That I kind of really want to get into. But you may even come back and we may have to do a third episode.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm here for that.
Damn it. But yeah, where shall we begin, Dr. D?
I think the best place to start and the juiciest place to start is I want to know, and obviously you've been 3.5 months in and you're feeling really great and you've probably unraveled a lot of things together and within yourselves. But I want to know at this point in time, what are the things that still sometimes keep you up at night?
Besides business? Are we talking straight
You know
health
what?
or the universe?
No, let's take it wherever it needs to go. So let's talk business, because there'll be something bigger there for you, because it's patterns that I'm looking for, right? So what at the moment keeps you up at night?
I feel like I'm sleeping really good at the moment.
Yeah,
Finally.
you have been.
Finally, for the first time in years.
Probably the last month and a half, you've probably slept the best you have.
What keeps you up at night?
Keeps me up. Well, I work night shifts, so that my sleeping pattern is very sporadic, up and down.
Yeah.
So at any time I could be up at night. I think with the detox, I don't know if it's a detox or just a couple of random late shifts, but I've been really tired the last couple of nights, which is something that I don't experience often because I am a night owl.
Yep.
So I don't know what's up with it, if it's just the detox. But then also we gave blood the other day, so that may have played up with it. But in my mind and heart, there isn't much that affects me other than like business. It's just a matter of who we've got in, what we've got to do. When we've got big events on. Me, I just want to make sure with our business, I know that I always want everyone to have the best experience when they come here.
Yep.
So if there's something that I know is not in place, like
that's true.
The other day we had a big event on the Saturday, but then we had people in on the Monday to come shoot. And I was like, baby, we got to go get that studio
he couldn't
clean.
settle. He was like anxious.
And she's like, we'll get it. I was like, no, I'm in there tomorrow. I'm cleaning it. I just get anxious to make sure that it's done.
Are you anxious until the very moment that it gets done?
Yeah.
And are you the only person that can do it? Like in your mind, you're like, I don't want anyone else to do it. I want to do it myself because I know it'll get done well.
Yeah. And I know that's just, it's just what I'm ingrained to do. I was like, I know my standards. And if it's not up to my standards, like I'm very particular.
Yep. To give an example of that, we had a cleaner booked for Monday, right? A cleaner could come in and clean on Monday before the shoot began at 1 p.m. on Monday, and then like the shoots back to back. And he was anxious, like he had to come in. So we came in on Sunday. I mopped the floors with him, but then he was happy.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool.
What is the discomfort around you having to do it yourself? Like, what's the discomfort that you're like, I just can't settle and sit with? Because, like I said, in our life, we are at our core patterns. Just a combination of patterns. And they show up in our life in different ways, but they can always be related back to different areas of life, because every area of life mirrors the other area of life, because it's all coming from the same person, the same energetic field, right? So what kind of things maybe run through your head in the discomfort of not doing the thing yet that you know you need to do?
I actually think I've got a little bit of OCD. So when I see stuff that, like I'll see patterns and everything and how stuff should form and be calculated. So I'm like, that's how this works. That's how this is run. So when I see something that's out of order, like something triggers me and I'm just like, I've got to put that back in order. Like I'm the worst person at the gym because I'll make sure the gym's tidy. You can always tell where I've been because I'll clean it up afterwards. But then I turn around and someone's messed it up. I'm like, I'm going to knock somebody out.
I feel like as well with you will, what I've learned with Ryan, a pattern, like so, and I just happily surrender to it, but I've noticed that he can't, if he starts something, it has to be finished, and he will get not upset, but I note an energy change if I have to pull him away or if, we have to go or that there's not enough time to finish it, and it's actually not important. It's not something that absolutely ever needs to be done. It could just be like fixing shelves, or it's always like the man stuff, right? But I can tell it's a point of contention for him. Like energetically, it's like, but it's not finished, but I have to do it. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
That's even with cooking though as well. So when I cook and then, or it's Anna's cooking and I'll come in and she's cooking. I'm watching her.
I don't cook. That's why I just stopped cooking.
I was like, do you just want me to do that, baby? And she's like, no, I got it. I'm just like, and it just eats me inside. I'm just like, you're going to cut your finger or it's not right. I was like, okay, I need to walk away.
Yeah.
I was like, if I could see her doing something that that's not the way I would do something. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've got to walk away so I can't see you doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because the discomfort is so great, even if they're small things.
Yeah.
Where either in your past or currently have you learned and associated perfection with being loved and accepted?
I don't know if it's with love and acceptance. I think it was grown up in a house. So my mum's a hoarder. So she holds on to everything because that's just what they did in that days. Like, you don't throw stuff away because you could reuse it. Where the era we live in now, everything's made to be disposable. But then I'll go around to my parents' place and I can't sit there because stuff's out of order. And I love my parents, but when I go to their place, I'm like, I can't be here for longer than 10 minutes because I start cleaning up and tidying. I was like, that's not why I came here. I came for a visit, and now I'm like, so I'll try avoid that. So I don't know where it came from, to be honest.
Do people, okay, who praises you when things are perfect? Or
As a child, though, hey?
it could be, like it definitely could be, but it's not always as a child. It often is. It's not always.
I don't know where it stems from, to be honest. It's a weird one. It's because I don't think any of my brothers and that are like that. It's just a trait that I picked up.
You were the fourth. No, you were the third
I was
child.
the third. So I was the youngest for 4 years because there's a 4-year gap between me and my younger sister.
Yep.
And then I was quickly the middle child. So I was went from probably being the most, like being the youngest and being favorited to being forgotten. To being the middle child and be like, oh, like, because I know when I was younger, though, my dad would always favor the two oldest ones. And then being a mother, they always favor the youngest one. So being set in the middle, you're like, oh.
So and you always say, like, beautifully, you used to, like, you would do everything for Celia, like your mum.
Yeah.
Like, you were always the helper and the fixer and the...
Yeah, I would always hang out with mums just because she needed more. And I was like, oh, I'm around. She's like, oh, who wants to do this? And I'm like, oh, I'll come do it. I'll hang with you.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't know where my
But did you because your mum's a saint, but do you feel... Oh, you ask.
Yeah, go on.
No, because I feel like...
This is... You know him better than anyone.
Yeah, that's right.
So the direction of your questions is going to help. And this is not like there's something wrong and we have to fix it. This is like, how can we together support each other to reach our highest potentials?
Yeah,
and to remove what doesn't serve us.
Yeah, I think I've just been, it comes down to being a carer myself. So when I was like, had the two younger siblings, I was always there to help out and do stuff for them. So I'd always be mindful of what people needed. And then I'm like, oh, well, if that's not right, that means someone else. So I'm willing to put myself out so someone else can get an easier ride. Like, I don't want to make stuff difficult for others. So I'm like, if I can, because stuff doesn't faze me. If I have to do a little bit of extra work, it's like, oh, well, but if that's going to make someone else's experience better, and then that's what I always put it down to. Like, when I see stuff out of order, if I fix it up, that means the next person that comes in it flows better for them. And mine's all about flowing, and I don't know. I think I care too much about others and what others think.
That is true, though.
And I think that there's two kind of syndromes, just because they're top of mind and easy to explain, that come to my mind. Middle child syndrome, which is like we're the forgotten ones. So I know I'm a middle child as well. We feel like we have to really stand out and really do well to be noticed, because it's almost like inherently where we lie amongst the other kids, we don't have as much, so we think, inherent worth, just as we are. Because we're not the oldest and we're not the youngest. So we're like, well, I need another piece to me to be the most important in this situation. And it's our perfectionism or our achievement or the things that we do that actually gets us noticed, not because we're just inherently the youngest child or we just are the oldest. So I feel like there's that middle child sort of syndrome as well, a little bit, sort of painted through maybe your childhood, and also martyr syndrome as well. And look,
I'd say yes to both.
Yeah. And it's not to be fixed. It doesn't necessarily need to be fixed until it becomes a problem. And the place that I'm sure, because you're already a dad, that you'll know that could become a problem is when it depletes you so much trying to put other people first and have others, you know, all their needs met before your own.
Yeah.
It's in that stretch that depletes you. And that, as a result, you being depleted means one of the team members looking after a newborn child or two newborn babies, like that, it's kind of like it I was going to say it like brings the whole like unit down, and it's kind of a harsh way to say it, but like essentially it kind of does.
Yeah.
So it's not about maybe necessarily having to fix it right this second, but being aware of that going into the next chapter and looking for the red flags around that so that it doesn't become a problem. It doesn't become disruptive. It doesn't, you know, damage or stain this beautiful, strong relationship that you guys have now, because it could get turbulent and it likely will at times.
The only time I find it's a problem is when, like when Anna said, so like when I've started something and I want to get it completed and that, and then when Anna's like, we got to go and we're going to do this, and it's like, but I'm doing something. You can see I'm doing something. I was
It's
like,
obsessive.
but then you're putting your priorities above what I'm doing too, and then I'm like, you don't care what I'm doing and what I've got planned or what I'm doing. And then when it's like, but it's not important, I'm like, but it's important to me. And then she'll have to realize that, okay, this is something, this his trait and he has to get it done. So
Drilling this shelf is very important.
Yeah.
Being on time to an important meeting, not important, because that shelf needs to get drilled.
But also if you think of what you just said, you know, it's, this is important. Can't you see I'm doing something? It's like you're putting your needs over mine. That can come about particularly because the boy in you had over and over and over other people's needs get met before his own. And you were strong. You were there. You can take it. So you don't mind taking a hit for everybody else. But where is the boundary for you? Where is the preservation, the self-preservation for you?
Yeah.
And I think that I understand from a healthy masculine point of view, you want to be there to protect others, to provide for others who don't even know that what you've done for them in the gym before they've gotten there.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't matter that they know who you are because you know that, and it makes you feel good because that is where a part of your worth and self-identity actually lies. In doing things for other people who didn't ask you, might not need it, but to you it's important. And to you it gives you that sense of satisfaction of like, yep, okay, like this is self-affirming for me. Like this is who I am. Ryan helps other people who don't even know that they need help. And that is what I do.
Yeah.
And so it's about, okay, let me ask you the question. Where do you see that trait going from a beautiful positive to a potential negative?
I'm not too sure. I know.
Can I give an example?
Yeah.
So really, I think, beautiful example of who he is as well in the car yesterday was I had this realization. We were driving home, I think maybe from the gym or wherever. And I said to him, oh my gosh, baby, like, because we love to train together, right? We love to train together. So, and it's not even like together, like doing the same exercise, like we go to the gym together. And I said, oh my gosh, you're going to lose your gym buddy for like 6 to 8 weeks or who knows how long when I'm in like immediately after birth. And I was like, oh, like, because I was like more sad for me because I won't train than fucking anyone else. Like, I didn't give a fuck about anything else or anyone. But I was like, oh, shame. I won't get to train because I'm like boundaried with that, right? And beautifully, I watched like Ryan's and he was like, oh, well, no. And without like missing a beat, taking a breath, it was like just straight thought about me. Like he was like, now for me, I'd be like, yeah, I will. But that's okay. You know, I'll be there before you go and I'll be there when you come back. Like, yeah. He goes, well, no, baby. Yeah, I will. But like, it was basically all about me. He was like, no, but I'll find time. I'm now only going to go to the gym when you snap, right?
No,
when you've got
sure
baby.
You and baby are settled
so
before
he was
I go.
all about me. And I said, no, baby, you will not do that. You will make sure you get to maintain. You fucking can still go to the gym in the morning whenever you want. Like you get to do that because I said if the roles were reversed, let me tell you, I would be because I want to make sure I've got my cup. And he just couldn't receive that. He was like, all right, baby, yeah, but I'm still going to make sure you're comfortable, you're fed, you're happy, baby's settled. These were the words he said before I leave.
Is that a trait you really admire about her?
What's that one?
Her ability to, like, if she needs to do something for herself, she will do it for herself.
Oh,
I think he actually thinks I'm
80% of the
selfish.
times.
Yeah.
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 Like I admire that she does find time for herself and makes sure that she's looked after, because that is a trait that she needs
Thrive
and
in.
thrives
Yeah.
in, because that's what keeps her businesses going. That's what keeps her looking as good as what she does, because she does prioritize herself and what she does.
Why are the rules different for you?
I don't know. I just, because I don't want or need for stuff. I'm very low maintenance. Like,
I think it's I don't know, but I genuinely sometimes think, and I could be wrong, that you had
because I had kids
babies
young.
as a baby
Mm.
chosen, like they weren't surprised or anything. Well, sort of, but like at 20 years of age, his partner was pregnant. So, and she's older, but like he's a baby. So he's 20 years old. He has his first child at 21. So that's it. I was doing ecstasy at 21. You know, like I was putting drugs up my bum and you were keeping a child.
Shelving.
Kids alive,
Different shelf.
Shelving. Yeah. Different shelf.
Building different shelves.
But he was keeping a human alive. And so I feel like, I don't know, but I it's a trait I admired deeply about him.
Yeah.
But
fast
where
flip
I think
from
it
being
hurts,
selfish to caring about others and making sure I kept someone else alive.
Yeah.
And
and then so I feel like almost his whole
life
has
So it
been
sounds
he's the protector, he's the provider, he's the one that's got it. He's always got everyone, he's always got everything.
Yeah, but I don't stress as much because, like I said, I'm not high maintenance. So as long as everything's flowing well, and I think that's why I like patterns and routines and stuff, because if I can get everything flowing and systems running, that means I can stress less.
Yes. Do you ever, and to save space, although I know everyone's listening, to save space,
It's only
guys.
us in the room.
We can cut it out if it get I will never.
We don't cut shit.
We don't cut anything.
But are there times where inside, without you voicing it, you get resentful, but you just think, you know what, that's silly to get resentful.
Yeah, at times,
just
yes.
let it go.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
but you communicate it too.
I can communicate that with Anna every now and then. I was like,
He's a selfish bitch.
Not those exact words.
No.
But
Yeah.
And I was just like, because I don't prioritize myself, but I don't need to.
But we don't ever argue about this, but it's like, but
you might like to see that for him.
Yeah. And I call that forward for him and I encourage it and I don't push it, but I'm almost like, go and hit the ball or go and take the massage or baby, go have the boy, like go do what you need to do. And he's just like, I'm okay.
What do you think that would do for him? Like, how do you see that?
He's already, and it's like almost painful how perfect he is, but I feel like he would become even more into his self. He would become more of him. He would thrive even more. I feel like I think he would access different levels of himself because you do care. I think there's this beast inside of him that in terms of not business, it's not about business, but just greatness, that he needs more of a voice in general. And he's got it behind closed doors to his sons. I hear it all day, every day. But when it comes time to make an impact more externally outside of himself, his unit, which is like me, the kids, etc., he shuts down. And I believe, and you've voiced this before, it's because he's so not scared, but he worries about what other people think. I feel like more self-preservation and more self-care and like tending to himself more would, I don't know why, but like, because it's my experience, would unlock that beast within him.
Yeah.
And actually it comes at like grounded, centered center of, actually, I don't give a fuck what you think. Friends, family, foe, whatever, because I'm Ryan motherfucking Patricevich. Like I've got myself, whereas he's got everybody else. And by having everybody else, he's got himself.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, have yourself and then us all.
Yeah.
I think I'm very strong opinionated, and I think that's what you see behind closed doors. But when it does come to being boisterous, like
boisterous.
I don't know, my articulation isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
So that's when I back up a little because I know my articulation and that, like my brain says a lot, but then my mouth can't catch up. So I'm like, and I start to stutter, and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean, but it's not coming out the way I want it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Are you saying that around, communicating like what you actually want? Does that play a part or not really?
Not so much when it comes to our relationship and that, because I can communicate and speak on that whenever. I'm free to do that, so that's fine. It's more when Anna's like, oh, you have a voice to tell other people, because like when I talk to my kids or to each other or to friends, she's like, you make such good points. I'm like, yeah, but then I get over passionate and then I just swear and then it loses my meaning.
Yeah.
And so when Anna's going on her rants and I'm like there and I'm talking, she's like, you got a lot of valid points. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I know I know a lot about a lot.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, my articulation isn't the greatest. So
and
then I go within. But that comes into my educational skills and patterns.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the greatest at school. I
slept. He's a phenomenal singer. No, I did ask you the other day. I go, baby, how the fuck did you get through school? And you go, I slept.
All my teachers would tell me to go to sleep because I was going out clubbing in grade 11 and 12. So I was out nearly every night of the week.
Wow.
Like would be out just with mates doing stuff, something nearly every night of the week. And I'd go to school. And then my teacher, I was lucky to have a couple of teachers that were really good. Like my last couple of years of school, I was like mates with all the teachers.
Yeah.
And I'd hit them, what are we learning today? And they're like, just this and that. I'm like, am I good to go to sleep? They're like, yeah, you're fine.
Literally.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why I think if you looked after, like when hit the golf balls or I don't know, went and got more massage, whatever it is for you, I feel like, because I know how it feels for me anyway. And then I think, oh, is that self-projection? But for me, when I'm so centered in, because I've got myself, I trust myself, I love myself, and I do that with my own self-care and self-preservation. That's how I can give to all others all the time. But I feel like you give first. I know.
Yeah. I'm happy with my gym. I'm happy with our business. I'm happy with
see though, yesterday when it did pertain to the gym, right, which I know is the most important thing for you, the minute you thought you would put me out with a newborn, which you wouldn't, it was like, I'll make sure you're fine first.
I did not say I wasn't going to the gym.
No, I know. But to me, I was like, you go whenever you want. You go when in your routine, you make your decisions. Don't worry about us.
But that's not coherent in a partnership though.
Yeah.
Like when we're in a partnership, I'm going to make sure that you and baby are fine before I leave that house.
Yeah.
Whether I'm coming to run the
put
dream
10 in
house,
me.
whether I'm coming to run the dream house or whether I'm going to the gym, I'll make sure that you and baby are settled and fine at home.
Yeah.
Before I go and do what I need to do.
And put 10 in me yesterday for that fact. But then I sit here and I'm like, but then I want to make sure you're okay and you've got yourself and, you can train and you like.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't need for much. So as long as I can find my patterns and routines, it's just a matter of switching patterns up for me. So it's like, okay, this has happened. So I now got to restructure and find the pattern in that. And then once I find the pattern in that, I'll stick to my structure and then we're off and running again.
That's so true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, this is all like seed planting for the future because it might not be problems now. And this is how, people always talk about if things serve you in a season of your life, keep those things. When they stop serving you, if you at least know the pattern, you can see the red flag a lot sooner than it creating damage. Like it doesn't need to. But I guess it's like digging to find more and more and more about yourself and why do I do the things that I do? And okay, is that serving me in this season of my life? Or can that turn into a negative? Which sometimes it can. Sometimes it can flip from a negative into a positive and vice versa. So it's not that anything necessarily needs to be fixed, but how we got here was what keeps you up at night is business. And the stress about getting little bits and pieces done. And so stress is the enemy to our health, especially to our fertility. And so what we're kind of trying to dial into here is, well, where can we alleviate that stress? So after having like had this kind of like a little bit more of like fleshing out this conversation, can you go back now to that first question and go, I feel like there is something that, or a pattern that I have that doesn't serve me?
No, but coming from that, I can see why I'm so healthy.
Yeah.
I don't stress. Like
Yeah.
literally, I
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't
do not stress. And I can't remember the last time I was sick. I was probably last time I was actually sick. I was like really crook. I was driving my truck. I had like a coughing attack. I hadn't slept the night before. I rolled my truck. And
But again, he was putting other people first. He was putting the company before his own health. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was 4 years ago.
4 years.
Yeah.
Was the last time I can actually remember being sick.
Yep.
And then since then, I told the company, I told them, and I was like, no. They're like, oh, what have you learned from me? I'm like, if I'm sick, I'm like, you can go kiss my ass. Like, I'm not pushing myself to suit you guys.
Yes.
And that was my stance on it. And then since then, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
I put myself first, my safety first.
Yeah.
Because,
you're doing your work, which is good. I see that. What was the question again?
What keeps you up at night?
Yeah.
No, but then when you circle back to it with him, or were you just saying that then?
Yeah, do you see anything differently now, having like unpicked a little bit more of the conversation? Like, do you see anything differently now? And I think that that's a great realization. And I also think the things that could potentially not serve you in the next chapter, they might. But if they don't, I feel like they're not right now, because you guys have such a beautiful relationship and such a beautiful dynamic. It's when relationships are, I guess, quite imbalanced and there's a lot of trauma that still hasn't been worked through, that it's like, it's clear as day.
Yeah.
But for people like you, it's actually about optimizing, and it's about thinking ahead and future pacing, as opposed to like fixing a really obvious broken thing. However, what we also have to look at as well is, is there room for optimization, from a physical standpoint, and I feel like the only thing that I have really to highlight is the reflection of like the sperm parameters. That's like really the only thing. And it's not a big issue, but like, let's go there. So what we spoke about, I think it was our very first call or maybe our second call, was the change in sperm parameters.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Motility? No, we talk about it. Yeah. We did a whole episode on that.
Yes, yeah.
I think everyone's aware of what's happening in the problems there.
So which parameters changed? And
motility.
Yeah.
Oh no, count all of them.
Count
and
motility.
motility.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So after the reversals, so both times that they come back, the first surgery I had with it, like before we went to Europe, the counts were great. Like after the first surgery,
average.
and then we're like, yes, let's go. But we were about to head to Europe. So we're like, okay, let's do this 6 weeks in Europe, and then when we get back, let's go.
Yeah.
But then by the time we'd finished Europe, it had closed over.
Yeah.
So when we got back, we're like, why are we not falling pregnant? It should be happening. Then we went in to go get it.
So both
retested.
Yeah, both reversals, both times, numbers came back good because it was unblocked, and as it was closing, motility dropped, count dropped because they weren't getting through, and obviously like banging their little spermy heads against scar tissue and Lord knows
trying
what
to
else.
find their way through. Yeah.
So sperm parameters all dropped,
and we should retest that.
I can't wait.
We should retest that. And remember, we were
talking
talking about
in Feb.
Yeah. Remember, we were talking about scars, the scars that you have.
Say what you said in the sauna last night.
Oh, it felt like the right side scar tissue, because I do massage so in hopes that will help free up the scar tissue a little.
Yeah, important. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the right side actually feels like it's gone down a bit. The left still feels chunky and scarred up.
That's
I was like, but the
exciting.
right side felt a little more. I was like, oh, okay.
And just for context for everyone at home.
That's me playing with my balls. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you were going to say something else?
I was. But that's also helpful context as well.
That is me playing with my balls.
What the context was because Brian has other scars on the outside and we can't see on the inside what's happening with the scar tissue. I told him to just keep an eye out on the other scars that he had on his body, because as within, so without. So if we had any other scars that we could see were looking like they're starting to get smaller or just less inflamed,
Well,
that
we
would be
can
a good
confirm.
sign.
We can
Ooh.
absolutely confirm. So we took photos of his knees. He's got 2 massive scars on his knees.
Yeah.
More than that, but
Yeah, well, the 2 main ones that we took photos of. And what I love is my acupuncturist, who's fascinated by your work.
Oh,
but
you'll have to connect.
But
us.
and initially was skeptical, like not skeptical, but was just like, oh, well, I'm Eastern, so I'm interested in this. And then we were saying about the scars. She's been watching his scars and she was not a disbeliever, but basically she's like, you can't change scar. I don't believe you can. So I'm fascinated but that's what I love. She wasn't like, so I don't believe it.
Yeah.
She's like, so I'm going to pay attention.
So when we were doing the acupuncture, she would put it in different spots in my knees and feet and whatever. And then the first couple of weeks we were there, she's like, she'd get to sometimes and she goes, oh, that one was a bit hard to get in. And then the last time we went, she's like,
this is easy to get in. But then she also commented, like, I can fundamentally notice a difference on the external scars. But it was interesting because I said, oh, what do you think, Cass? And she's like, oh my God, they're changed. Like basically where it was stitched, for example, on his biggest scar.
Yeah.
There was like dots, like scar dots.
This one here.
And they've gone. Like they're all but gone. So it's just interesting. So we will see. Scars can change.
Scars can change. And like if we're seeing that on your skin on the outside, imagine what's happening on the inside with like so much, blood and like constantly like being sent all these like a little immune warriors. Like imagine what's happening on the inside.
Yeah,
like that is so awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Like a lot of people will say, oh no, that's not a thing. That doesn't change. But like if it's changing on the outside, sure, it's changing on the inside because the outside is the last organ. Our skin is the last organ to get everything. Yeah. Of course, our body's going to prioritize what's on the inside. So that's like when people have, like glowing, radiant skin. It's you know that they have glowing, radiant skin because of what's happening on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like they're so full of radiance. It's like pushing through their pores.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very cool.
That was very exciting. Because it was just interesting. We were having our little sauna last night, which I know I don't do it when we'll stop them. We know it's bad for balls. We know it's bad for.
Well, in short, if it's
15
hot
minutes,
and intense,
we do.
Yeah, and it's short, it's fine. Especially if it's working.
Oh, well, I take a spare bottle, one for my balls, one for my mouth.
Ice bottle. Yeah.
We ice his balls in the sauna when we're in there for 15 minutes. That's what we do.
Just in case anyone was worried that my balls were overheating.
Let me tell you, everyone is the DMs I get, which is so well-meaning, but they're like, he shouldn't be in the sauna. It's bad for sperm. And I'm like, and your partner probably shouldn't be drinking 4x beers every night, but here we are, friends. So no. But otherwise, what's keeping me up at night, it's not because I'm sleeping like a baby, but if literally, and it does wake me up, and this is what always will wake me up, it's always money. But it's like there's so much abundance. It's always for me like I'll be I'm just always thinking ahead. So I'll wake up and then I start thinking, it's business as well. But it's like, because I've been the provider my whole life.
Yep.
And then I have a capable king that can, but I've still got myself as well. But I'm sleeping like a baby. But there are times when it's like, I'll just have got my tax bill, so that pisses me off, if I'm honest, right?
Yep.
And I have to pay that cash. So then, but I just don't feel like I feel like I'm sleeping like a baby.
Can we like
we can
unpack that? Because I mean, and again, to other people, their money stories are going to be massive. For you, it's not going to be as big. Yeah. But there's still something there. And again, it's patterns. So in my mind, what I just thought of was, I wonder if your, the money stress is actually more like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're in this this beautiful position, 100%. Like it's like
it could all be taken away.
Can it be taken away from me? Because it's just so easy and it's so beautiful and I'm so abundantly blessed and it's everything feels like it's working now and like investments are great. Like it just everything is great. And so I wake up and I'm like, oh, what if? Or will it change when I have a baby? And all of those thoughts. We coach what we need. And for me, I always say, like, how does it get any better? It always does. I started to say that because I didn't want to live with the fear of this could all get taken away.
Yeah.
So it's always there.
Yeah.
Right? Because then I'm like, wow, when I get my baby, it's going to be like all of my dreams come true. That's it. What the fuck else am I going to do?
Yep.
Other than the house on the
You're like,
beach.
I've peaked.
Well, that's it.
It's all
I'm
downhill
done.
from here.
Fuck, I'm done. So it's like,
Speak into reality.
yeah. So for me, that's I'll wake up. And that's probably why I've been sleeping like a freaking baby even more, because it's like things really are good. And there's just been little things that I've not even meant to proven to myself. Like, you know, I did that masterclass. It was 90 minutes of my time and that was $130,000 a week.
Yeah.
Like, so now I'm like, oh, there's just, I've spent 15 years building this woman and she's arrived. You know, is motherhood going to fuck that up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think that, but clearly I do because I just said it. So
we don't, but we do. And like first of all, let's like validate that as being makes complete sense that there's that fear. I mean, you've had a history of things being taken away from you in an instant.
My whole life.
Like everything crumbling in an instant, particularly around things out of your control. And I think that's the scary thing as well, because again, if we like liken that to fertility and being pregnant and having a child, it's like that it feels somewhat like that is you kind of, I'm going to say out of control.
Yeah.
Because it's not fully in your control. But, you know, there's a gray area to that. And I think that it's like a completely valid fear for you to have. And so what I'm interested to know is like, let's go there to what is the absolute worst case scenario?
Oh, that's a good question. Like in motherhood?
Yeah. So with loss, with money, with motherhood, with all the things, like what is the absolute worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario for me, which would be business, it's just never business. Worst case scenario for me is becoming a mother and going, what the fuck have I done? Because you can't send it back. Did I really want it? Like actually, because I'm almost 38. I live the most beautiful life on earth. It's my one dream, but dreams change, right? If I'm being completely honest, and I feel like if more women were honest, they would probably, you know, like, but that, I mean, that's worst case scenario if I had to give it a voice.
Yeah.
But I know, it's like I know to every cell in my being that's not going to happen. But if I had to give worst case scenario a voice, 100% that.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is, because business, fine. Love, fine. Life, fine. I'm not a mother yet though. And so it's the one area that I can't control.
Yet.
You know, what if I have a fucking shit kid? No.
No. You'll love it anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, great.
Do you think that's why you are so, not so off IVF, but because IVF isn't natural and it's out of your control, why you fear IVF?
100%.
Because with like fully natural, it's a natural process. It's your body creating the baby, but now our parenthood is in the hands of doctors.
Not only that though, 100%. I have a problem with authority. I have a problem with the medical system, and I have a problem with control. Welcome IVF.
But you know what's actually so interesting is that so many people have the opposite belief.
What's that?
Like people think that the natural way,
Oh, absolutely not.
it's like it actually gives them control.
No.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Like they can time it. So they're like, I want to fall pregnant in February, you know, so I'll do a IVF cycle in February. Like, and actually natural is the out of control way.
That's so funny.
Because it's like, you know, it's this like natural force. So it's like, you don't know what you're going to get. It's like, they liken it to like a tsunami. It's like, we don't know, like the power of the ocean, like who knows what, you know? So it's actually so interesting. It's the opposite.
I can intellectualize that. But yeah, for me, I feel like I would rather Ryan's penis be entering me than Dr. Ong's needle.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Like,
totally.
That to me feels very out of control.
Yeah.
Like legs in a stirrup.
Oh, yeah.
Thing up my vagina versus like making phenomenal love to the king in the bed.
Yeah.
Or the couch or the bench or like. So that's just the switch up. But worst case scenario would be, and not even business, I know no matter what, because I have the resources and the know-how, that like motherhood and business will be fine.
Yeah.
I've got my team now. I'm even building out more. It is literally, oh my God, what if you have a baby and you're like, fuck, was I meant to be a mother?
No coming back from it, baby. Once
Yeah,
it's
that's
there,
right.
it's yours. You're
That's
there for
right.
life.
What would you say to someone listening who is on this side of a fertility journey who maybe has those same fears?
I would say, my greatest thing is you asked a question and I vocalized it.
Yeah.
However, in the deepest part of my core is a knowing. And I'm spiritual, like I'm very woo. So to me, people go, but I don't know, but you do know. And if you stopped and you listened, you know. And to me, I feel it when I speak about this, I genuinely feel it in my womb and I feel it in my chest. So for me, when I say, what if I'm not meant to, that it's like it aches, which is untrue for me.
Yeah.
So then I go, well, I know that that's not true.
Yeah.
So what I would say is when you have that thought, because so many women probably do, they just aren't brave enough to admit it to themselves, let alone on a national podcast.
Yeah.
Global podcast. But it's that to tune into our deepest knowing as the feminine, and our greatest gift is our intuition.
Yeah.
It's actually to just listen and know. And I feel like mine is extra tuned into the universe right now because we are just such clear vessels. But it's a knowing that I'm like, I can vocalize that because I can intellectualize the life. I can intellectualize the fact that some women probably are not meant to have children either.
I think
right?
vocalizing it too really helps you get it out to your knowing.
Mm.
So when you say it
That's
out aloud and you
so
hear it
true.
out
Very.
aloud, and so when you're speaking it, so sometimes you can internalize something, but until you vocalize it, you don't get that feeling. And I remember when me and Anna, when we were dating early on and we were talking about it, because we were very open with our conversation from the start.
Night one.
And we were in the sauna at my old place and we were talking about kids and that. And then I turned around and I go, because we were having a conversation.
This was
I'm
like 3 weeks in, you guys. This was 3 weeks in.
I don't think you actually want kids. And she's like, what makes you say that? And I was like, the way you just said that to me.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I only said it like that because I don't want to scare you off.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so tell me again, do you want kids? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, I feel that.
Yep.
And then because she had to stop and think about it and like, oh, am I projecting that I don't want kids?
Yeah, it was a huge moment for me.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful because until you go there, and like you said, until you voice it, you can't yard test it against your own truth.
That's so true.
You can't. And it's so interesting because the same thing happened to me. So when I fell pregnant with Billy, because the months leading up to that, I was doing my own protocol, which is essentially like the deep detoxing protocols that I do with people and all the hormone balancing stuff, all the gut health, all the things. And the masculine emotional and clearing mindset, junk that doesn't belong there in my new identity, in my new chapter, whatever. Because I was like so in shock when I felt pregnant, even though Gus was like, well, of course you did. Like, this is like you've been healing yourself. Like, of course you have. And I was like, what? And not many people know this, but it was such a shock. We kind of parked it because his first response was, well, like we can't keep it. And my first response.
This is your first, hey?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we were 26.
Yeah.
And my first response was like, oh, well, I guess so. And then I was like, oh, that hurt. And I was like, like I really was not, really was not my truth, my identity for so long was like, I don't ovulate, regularly. And I've been told that I won't fall pregnant with IVF. So like that, it wasn't even like a thought in my mind. And so we made this like pact. We said, okay, let's leave it for 5 days. And then let's come together. Like, let's just think about it. Let's not talk about it. Like think about it on our own terms. And let's come together. It was New Year's Day because it was like right at the end of the year. Let's come together and let's let each other know like what decision we've made. And in the moment, it was like, we're like ready, set. And he's like, keep it. And I was like, not keep it. And I was like,
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I know it sounds so like.
No, because it's the
savage.
truth. Yeah,
That's
no,
what
because
it
that
is
was
at that
what it
point,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he said that, I like burst into tears and I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like, I agree with you. I didn't want to go into this thinking that you didn't also want this as much as I did.
Mm.
And it was just like the most beautiful thing, you know, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
And it was
When
just,
you know.
and like we were 6 months in, 6 months into dating.
Oh, were you
it
only
was 6 months in.
Ah, this is amazing.
Yeah. And I just knew that he was my person and I just knew that this was right for me, even though it was a shock and it was like a rattle to my identity and all of those things. It wasn't until
The masculine.
let me was like, I want this. I was like, thank goodness, because like actually so do I. I just got goosebumps.
And that is exactly what happened with Ryan. I deeply, it's the biggest thing I've ever wanted in my whole life. I was born knowing I came from, and I always likened it because I'm like, oh, well, I know I want kids because I'm one of 5 and my mum has 5 kids. So that I'm like, oh, that was my example. But it's not that. It's just that I was born knowing that I was born to be a mother.
Yeah.
And unfortunately along the way I had and did have so much taken from me over and over and over, including my own body sovereignty, like everything that, and then divorced at 33. Sis had a bit on, right? And so when it got to the point that I was unsure after the divorce, like I was like, I don't know. Because I refused to have a child to tick a box. So for me, I was like, well, I'm not going to be so hell-bent on wanting a child, even though I do want one, that I'm just going to accept mediocre to get that child, basically. So I want to take that actually off the table and see how I feel. And then it was boom. 3 weeks in,
wow.
the healthy masculine met me in the sauna, like, and called me on my shit and was like, because he's just like, I don't feel it. And that like hit me like a tidal wave.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So then I stopped and I didn't reply straight away. And I did check in because I was met with that force you felt and that truth. And I was like, no, I want this. I want babies. But it was this, I finally had permission. See, and that makes me emotional. Like, finally had permission from a healthy masculine that turned every fucking hormone in my body on, first of all. So the second I saw him, I'm like, put a child inside of me. He just turned every hormone on. That's why I'm like, when you know, you actually do know because you feel it and you know. And then, I was like, no, I really want this. But until that point.
Giving permission to feel your truth.
Yeah. So it was vocalizing it. So, my greatest fear, like worst case scenario, is that I can't fucking send it back.
Yeah.
But
that's not going to be
But I know that that's
reality.
not the truth.
And that's just like, it's good to just play with the parts. And like from an observer's perspective, like just play with those parts and go, okay, play with the parts.
Yeah. Okay.
Take it how you will.
Said,
do what you need
play
to do.
With my parts.
But, and like just see, because your truth, your inner self, that strong sense of self will tell you which direction to go in. And sometimes you just got to play a bit of devil's advocate, you know? The thing that I was going to ask you and like reflect back, which I'm sure you've already like realized, is you said like, I don't want it at like a mediocre standards to tick a box. Yeah. Of course not, because like look at all the meticulous planning and the intentionality behind this whole process. Like you've manifested this process to be so fucking intentional. And that's just a reflection of those standards that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly believe, even to the point of like this whole piece and question you asked me around control, like both, like this baby that's coming through for all babies, especially for like the first one, whomever that will be, I see boy, girl, but like the first one that's coming through, is like giggly. It's like I can hear them now. Like I'm like, it's like, Mum, we always knew. Like this was like as if you had any control over this. Like this was exactly
the plan.
The plan. Like you didn't get to control this. Like you had to get to this point at this part. And even recently, like I said to you yesterday, I think, like we've just changes and bringing team in and like all this stuff. I'm like, wow, this baby is demanding a lot. Like it's incredible what I'm feeling already.
Yeah, just what's growing, what we need to drop to make sure that when this baby comes, everything's in place and there's unity and harmony in our life. So,
and again, that intentionality is going to serve you so much because you're creating so much space. Like this babies, like that, just that, like respect, intentionality, that love, that energy that you're pouring into restructuring your life for them.
Yeah,
like
hugely.
Like, oh my gosh, if every couple could have this level of intentionality and, you know, just trying to make sure that they are methodically looking at all areas of life, auditing all areas of life, because what this shows me when people work with me, especially you guys, is how much love and care this baby's going to have. Like just no doubt, no fucking doubt. Like what a loved children, like, wow.
Oh, I'm even reading this book, Dee. It's called Erica Kramer, I think it is. Prioritizing.
Is this the Queen of Confidence?
No. Oh, so I might have said the wrong word.
Yeah.
No, she's a psychoanalyst or psychologist for children. But she's written a ton of books. She's amazing. I love it. I'm fucking with her.
Yeah.
Erica something. Could be wrong. I'll put it in the show notes. Anyway, prioritizing motherhood, why the first 3 years matter, something.
Yep.
I'm reading this book. And I said to Ryan, I'm not reading birth books because I genuinely, like, I am born to do this.
Yep.
Tick.
You're past that. It's all good.
I'm like, why would I read a book on how to birth? God literally made me to birth. Parenting, though.
Yes.
Fucking give me all the books.
A constant spiritual quest.
Give me all the
parenting.
books.
Is it not?
But everyone parents different. Like, and we've had this on a conversation before on the podcast, and like parents are the most judgy as fucks out there because every parent believes that the way they're parenting is the way that everyone should parent.
The way, the truth, and the light. It's like religion. Parenting is a religion.
When they see someone else parenting
it
different
is
to how
very
they are,
like
it's like, how dare they be doing that? They should be doing it this way.
Yeah.
But there's no real true way of how to parent. Like, just every child's different.
Yeah.
Every parent's different. Every situation's different. So you've got to kind of do what you can.
Yeah.
But when you do have knowledge, you can change the way you parent and be more conscious of the way you parent. Because like Anna said, in this book, the first 3 years of life is what motherhood.
Mummy.
So how you treat
mummy.
your child is how that child will pick up their traits. And
guys, I'm learning
balance.
This book, right? Basically. So I'm not reading birthing, I'm reading parenting. And this is really important to me because I've had success in my life because of the books that I've read. Fact. Parenting so now I'm entering parenthood. I'm like, you better believe I'm reading the right books on parenting, I think.
Yeah.
But I said to Ryan, before I skydived, right, before I got my solo skydive license, they put you in a room. The first day one, it's just 1 day of theory, which is fucking insane to me. I was like, why are you letting me jump out of a plane with a sheet and some floss? Anyway, they put you in a room and literally for 1 day, you just learn, it's theory, but the entire day is just every single way you can die. Literally. They don't say it like that. But at the end of that day, I said to my instructor, this was really just a day of basically psyching you out to know how you could die, like the hundreds and hundreds of ways that you can die. And they were like, bang, you're going to be a brilliant skydiver.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, cool. Because they're like, you made it through the day. A lot of people pull out after this, which is powerful. However, this is the point. I said to Ryan, imagine, because this book, so now I'm reading this book, Prioritizing Motherhood, Why the First 3 Years of Life Matter the Most or something. I think that's what it's called. I'll put it in the show notes. What I'm learning, and we know this intellectually, people will be listening to this and be like, yeah, of course, like fucking idiot. But it's like, have you read the book though, babe? Like, let me have a look at your child. Is your child securely attached? Is your, like, no judgment.
Yeah.
But what I said to Ryan, I said, this book is teaching me so much, and all the books I'll read after will. But I said, I didn't even realize how much my presence, my presence as a mother how I respond to my child, the eye contact I give them from birth, right? Because this is what's all in the book, teaching them, don't be on your phone when you breastfeed. So I was like, my phone's going to be off in a fucking drawer. Like, that child actually is learning secure attachment when you give them eye contact and touch whilst you're breastfeeding. Now, I was like, wow, how beautiful, so I'm learning how to parent. And I said to Ryan, though, like, and I'm reading it in the sauna, it's my sauna time. And I unpack it with him. And I said, this book, I think parents in general, all parents should read some parenting books. But I said, wouldn't it be so powerful actually that if parents, because this was me, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get some help for sure. I'll have au pairs and stuff. Probably not now in the first 3 years. I'll have some help because just like other people get their mum to come and babysit.
Yep.
My mum lives in a different state. I will have some help. But I was like, wow, I'm just going to baby wear for 3 years. That sucker's just going to be strapped to me because I'm like, beautiful. Okay, wow, I didn't realize my child's entire fucking emotional attachment, secure attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment is dependent upon who I am and how I am as a mother, not a woman, a mother to that child in its first 3 years. And I said to Ryan, guarantee if every woman and man had to read this book before they became parents, a lot of them probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Right? Same as skydiving. I was like, if you have to sit in a room and learn every single way you're going to die, you're probably not going to jump out of a plane. If you had to actually read the books on parenting and how critically, vitally important it is as who you are as parents, the health of you, the presence of you, the emotional stability of you, blah, 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 you probably would be like, yeah, fuck having a kid. Right? Because you are going to fuck that child up.
That's why so many kids these days are detached from the world because
up.
they have been detached since birth.
Yeah.
Because parents these days don't communicate and they don't like commit to children what they used to back in the days.
I mean, I feel like there's two sides to that because I think so many people want to.
They do. Pure intentions. I always assume positive intent.
There are definitely some people who don't have the level of respect and sacredness of creating another life. If people just had that belief, like their actions would be very obvious. You guys obviously hold that belief. I obviously hold that belief of all the intentional work that I did prior to, of all the intentional work that you're doing prior. So I do think though that, and it's really sad and really heartbreaking that a lot of parents don't mean to, but they're stuck in the system. They're stuck in the system, and they're just trying to get by. And this is why I think my work is so powerful because your children are like a fucking loose cannon and they will grow to reflect the biggest lessons that you need to learn in life. I truly believe, I heard this from one of my earliest mentors, children are here to teach their parents.
Mine will be about control.
Yeah, okay.
Mine's 100%.
Billy for me was anger.
Okay.
I had a lot of suppressed anger. And from day one, she was just like this child that was like, I don't give a fuck how you feel about my emotions. This is what they are. Full expression, really like. And
you had to reparent
I
yourself.
had to reparent myself. And isn't that the beauty of it? It's like it's reparenting ourselves. So by you guys and by parents before they have extra children coming into this world, if they know and can imagine that they are literally plugging themselves into their child whenever that child is around them, whether they can see them or not, if they're in their vicinity, they're plugging into that child, and any adult essentially becomes that world for them, that your nervous system regulation, your aura, your every internal thing, you are literally plugging into that child. And so when that child is chaotic, you have to be the calm and recenter that child. And you know this.
No, I was just like, because you're so calm as well.
Yeah.
Lucky kids.
Yeah. But they will be our reflections for various reasons. Maybe you'll have a super chill kid. Maybe your kid will be so chill that you'll be like, speak up, be heard.
Yeah.
You're worth being heard, maybe. And I love talking about parenting so much because essentially it's like, that's what I'm saying here, because those things that we sort of mentioned earlier for you, Ryan, they serve you now. If they don't, you'll know when they don't.
Yeah.
Because they'll create some kind of pain. And often we can only see that pain, especially if we have Martyr syndrome, which I also do have that as well, when it affects our children. And sometimes it's our children then that mean the world to us, that we're like, you know what? I actually can see and reflect, and you're interpreting life through me. And I actually think it once served me, but I want to show you what it could look like and how it can be different. And it's actually reparenting ourselves to become a role model for our children so that we see a change within them, because they're learning life through us.
I always say that. It's never what you say, it's who you are and what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see it with women. Yeah, I see it in self-love school all the time. Women ask me, like I get asked all the time, how can I teach my daughter to love herself? Love yourself. Well, love yourself. Show her what loving yourself looks like.
Yeah.
So she simply mirrors that.
Yeah. And it actually like it hurts. It's like being a caterpillar to a butterfly. It hurts and it's hard, but it has such a beautiful ripple effect. And then when you're plugging in at a higher frequency to that child and they're in your vicinity, words don't have to be said. They can, all of a sudden their behavior changes and you're like, wow, that was an internal game that I did myself. That had nothing to do with you. I didn't even know how much of that you saw, but they can feel that change. They can feel that shift.
Yeah.
I'll give you a small example. I'm still breastfeeding Phoenix at the moment. He's 2.5. Does he need it? I don't know. Sometimes I question, like, I think he just loves milk. I think he just loves being close to me.
Connection.
You know, I think he just loves lying on top of mummy. And I have a feeling as well that all he's known his whole life is mummy is milk, and mummy, like, that's how we connect. But in the back of my mind was kind of like, do I stop? Do I stop? Like, what feels right for me? Someone said to me, one of my coaches actually reflected back. She's like, just stop, babe. And I was like, I can't just stop breastfeeding. Like, what if that child needs my milk? How do I know what his immune system is doing right now? Like, I trust him. I trust that. But then a couple months went on and I was like, maybe that's what I needed to hear. Maybe I should play with that. Maybe I should experiment and see, like, how do I actually feel about that? Like, have it against the yardstick of my own truth. Like, what if I did? What does that look like? What am I making it mean about me? You know, a people pleaser complex, a martyr complex. I'm okay. I can handle it. I'm strong. He might need something from me. He went from literally like crying and screaming when I would say no to the other day, I cried. And I just let all this emotion out around, I think it might be time. And it wasn't actually until I voiced that and I actually like looked at him and I said, sweetheart, I said, we're not going to breastfeed for much longer. Like, we're going to stop soon. And it actually makes me emotional.
Oh my
Because that'll be
love.
my last child that I will breastfeed. I've breastfed for so long. So it's like all I know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we had that moment and I looked at him and he was looking at me and he knew exactly what I was saying.
Of course.
And just pretty much overnight, he went from, I would say things like, you know, oh, we'll breastfeed before we go to sleep, because I still do in the morning and at night. And he just accepted it. Just like that. And I was like, wow.
There's a resonance in you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an internal game. It's all an internal game. Whether you're trying to build an empire, you're trying to build a family, you're trying to build or create anything, like it is all an internal game. It's like why all my protocols are essentially the same thing. It's unlocking the human potential within us and connecting ourselves to be a co-creator with the universe and with whatever higher power that there is for us, to be able to bring that into our life, but to be able to become a clear vessel, a clear channel, so that we do know ourselves. We can say, what do I think about this thing? And that thing, whatever it may be, that question that we're asking ourselves can be tested against our own sense of truth. But if we're not clear within ourselves and clear within our own minds, how are we ever going to know what decisions to make for ourselves?
Yeah.
We just won't know how to navigate life.
We
and
don't
parenting
listen.
is that.
Yeah. Which is so true.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I'm conscious of the time. We're over an hour.
Yep.
This is what I mean. I'm like, we could sit here all day.
Yeah, we still
we'll bring her back. We'll bring her back.
She's
coming back. We just need to move to the Gold Coast. But thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Do you have anything to say before I wrap up?
No, it's just always good to see you, Dee.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that.
like I said, when we started this protocol, I was not very, but I was, I wasn't negative about
No,
it.
you weren't, because I'm like, I think you're amazing, but I'm interested to see
But
what
I know
you were hesitant.
hesitant would be
Yeah,
the thing. I
probably.
was hesitant about it all. I was like, oh, I don't know. But once we started and once we got in the flow of it, I was like, no, this is great. It's reconnected us. Like when we did our month of enemas, like every day, like I'd be downstairs,
things that have
she'd
bum
be
reconnected
upstairs, and
us.
we'd be texting each other, how's it going? What you doing? And then now we've only stopped the two a week. And I was like, oh, it's time to an enema. I was like, jump on the text and I was like, yeah.
But the cooking and stuff as well. No,
Yeah,
I
but
do.
then with the cooking and everything, it's brought us closer together. And I do believe, like, as a couple, when you do this with yourself, I go, it's not just about getting in the best physical and gut health you can, but it actually connects you as a couple. And I think that's great leading into parenthood as well. That's my 2 cents.
I'm so glad you
Beautiful.
shared that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you shared that, because that is the hidden value. It's doing things together. You're on a journey together. You're being your best selves together. So fucking powerful. Like, as a team, being so strong. Like, that is so, so beautiful and validating to hear, because I created that with that in mind.
Yeah, and leading into parenthood, like, you need that connection together. So once the baby comes, you're then looking after this child together.
Yeah.
So you're basically just moving on from the protocol to the child. So
That's
The child becomes the protocol.
Like, here's the next journey.
No. Well, I hope if you are listening that I know if you are listening, you got something from that. I know that I promise that I will bring Dee back. I feel like we have even more to unpack with trauma. I think it can just go on and on and on. And obviously, as then we step into, parenthood, re-parenthood for you.
Reparenting.
And then parenting for the first time for me, it's a conversation we will continue to have as well, because it is so vitally important. I am learning that as a brand newbie. I feel like I'm a fetus in the world. No, I'm the blastocyst right now of just newness of like reading parenting books and realizing how critical this aspect is. I just got to get the baby first, which is what we're doing. So
you're on that path.
We're on the path, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's a pleasure as always. And until next time, friends, stay wild.